is Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
Voice of Korea.
This is Voice of Korea.
We begin the English language transmission from Pyongyang, the capital of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
What is the mixed chorus? 성업 janitor 김일승. 제너럴 김중일.
You're listening to Voice of Korea News Now. Revolutionary activities of respected Kim Jong-un were reported abroad between the 15th and the 17th. The Chinese news network, Hong Kong Takunpao, and Hong Kong Phoenix Satellite Television, and the Japanese Gildan News reported the news of its field guidance to the Singapore Fishery Institute. The Chinese Jilin newspaper printed photographs of respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un and carried the news of his inspection of posts under Korean People's Army Unit 171 defending the forefront. The website of the Democratic Congolese National Committee for the Study of the Church Idea posted the news of its field guidance to the construction site of the terminal of the Pyongyang International Airport. Foreign newspapers recently featured the 20th anniversary of the demise of the great leader President Kim Il-sung. The Russian newspaper, the Vietnamese newspaper Nyungan, the Senegalese newspaper Le Populaire, and the July issue of the Hungarian newspaper Liberation carried articles of different titles, including 20th anniversary of the demise of President Kim Il-sung. Saying the great Kim Il-sung performed immortal exploits for the times and history with his outstanding idea and theory and great revolutionary practice. The articles introduced his ideological and theoretical exploits and energetic external activities. The Russian newspaper printed his smiling portrait. Foreign mass media recently featured the 61st anniversary of the victory of the Korean people in the Great Fatherland Liberation War. The Uruguayan newspaper La Juventud edited an article illustrated with a photograph of the great leader Kim Il-sung. The article praised him for having led the Fatherland Liberation War to victory with his uncommon military wisdom, outstanding strategy and tactics, and deep trust in and love for the army and the people. The Russian newspaper Pravda Primorye carried an article denouncing the U.S. imperialists who are still persisting in their hostile policy towards the DPRK, far from drawing a lesson from their defeat in the past Korean War. The domestic and international channels and 7 national language channels of the Broadcasting Service of Guinea enumerated facts disclosing the crimes of the U.S. imperialists, provocateur of the Korean War, and their losses in the war. They said that the U.S. imperialists strained up the situation of the Korean Peninsula with ceaseless military provocations after the war, but faced a failure every time. The chairman of the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, the chairman of the South African Group for the Study of Kim Il-sungism, Kim Jong-ilism, the chairwoman of the Kim Jong-su Women's Union of Russia, and the head of the delegation of the Mongolian Association for the Study of the Churchill Idea and Sungun Idea, visited the Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum in the DPRK and said, "The United States provoked an aggressive war on the young DPRK with the huge armed forces to turn the whole of Korea into its colony and advance back for its strategy of world domination. But the Korean army and the people could win in the Green War thanks to the great military idea and outstanding leadership of Kim Il-sung. Now the West is making false propaganda on the Korean War. All the evidences in the museum prove that the past Korean War was an aggressive war triggered off by the United States with the mobilization of armies of its satellite countries and the signboard of the United Nations," they added. The delegation of the Brazilian Communist Party headed by Raul Groev, member of the party's Central Committee, laid a bouquet before the bronze statues of the great leaders Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il on Mansu Hill and paid tribute to them on the 22nd. A meeting was held at the People's Palace of Culture in Pyongyang on July the 22nd on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the publication of the famous work of the great leader Kim Jong-il on further developing educational work. Present at the meeting were Cha Tae-bo, officials concerned, and educational officials, teachers, and researchers in Pyongyang. In his report, Cha Tae-bo, member of the Political Bureau and Secretary of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea, said the great Kim Jong-il sent his historic letter to the participants in the 9th National Meeting of Educational Workers, or National Meeting of Active Educational Workers, on July the 22nd, 1973, or 1984, and continued. The past 30 years after the publication of the work were proud chronicles in which a revolutionary turn was brought about in education of the country, and education was lifted. Respected Kim Jong-un has regarded it as the most important policy of the country to attach importance to education and strengthen and develop the universal 11-year compulsory educational system established by the great generalissimos Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il into the universal 12-year compulsory educational system. The reporter called upon all the educational officials and teachers to effect a fresh revolutionary turn in education under the leadership of Kim Jong-un, and thus render active services to the building of a highly civilized socialist nation. DPRK Premier Park Bong-joo made a field survey of major industrial establishments in Hamhung City, South Hamgyong Province. He learned in detail about the production of Churchill fertilizer and vinylon fiber and custom-built equipment at the Hungnam Fertilizer Complex, the February 8th Vinylon Complex, and the Gyeongsang Machine Complex, and held consultative meetings. Going around the Hungnam Pharmaceutical Factory, the Premier underlined the need to keep accelerating the modernization project of the factory and produce more medicines to promote the people's health. Efforts are being made in the DPRK to prevent damages in the rainy season. Collieries, mills, and power stations are taking measures to remove possible harms to production in the rainy spell while preparing reserve mining grounds and coal pits. Railway workers reinforce railroad structures, and in the construction and light industry sectors, measures are being taken for transporting and keeping various kinds of materials, finishing building materials, raw materials, and manufactured goods to prevent damages by rain, wind, and humidity. In the urban management domain, efforts are being made not to give any inconvenience to the inhabitants in the rainy season. An agreement on establishing friendship-city relations between Pyeongchang City in South Pyongan province of the DPRK and Bhaktapur City of Nepal was signed in Nepal on the 19th. Present at the signing ceremony from the DPRK side were members of the friendship delegation of Pyeongchang City headed by An Myung-ok, chairperson of the City People's Committee, the DPRK Embassy Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to Nepal, and his eldest staff members. And from the Nepalese side were members of the leadership of the Central Committee of the Nepal Worker Peasant Party, including Chairman Narayan Manbijukti, the administrator of Bhaktapur City, personages from all walks of life and citizens. A delegation of the International Alliance of Societies for the Study of the Church Idea and Sundan Policy in East European and Central Asian regions, led by General Secretary Mikhail Panchenko, flew in Pyongyang on Tuesday. A spokesman for the Committee for the Peaceful Reunification of Korea issued a press statement on Wednesday under the title, "They should not miss the chance of improvement of inter-Korean relations." The press statement said, "The news that respected Master Kim Jong-un guided the match for examining the men's football of the national selection to participate in the 17th Asian Games causes sensations at home and abroad. Especially, the entire fellow countrymen warmly feel his firm will for reunification and noble love for the nation in its significant words that the participation of our players in the Games would serve as an important occasion in improving the relations and removing distrust between the North and the South, and the spokespersons should make an active contribution to reconciliation and unity of the fellow countrymen through the Games. The participation of our team and cheering group in the 17th Asian Games was decided to increase the atmosphere of the festival of fellow countrymen despite tense situation and sharp confrontation, and make the Games an important occasion to improve the inter-Korean relations and remove distrust. It is only a disgraceful act evoking shame as well as denunciation of the public at home and abroad to waste time while arguing about the issue of participation of our team and cheering group in the Games without elementary understanding of such goodwill and effort. If the North and the South slander each other on insignificant issues now when the inter-Korean relations are in the worst state, so many complicated knotty problems between them would not be solved at all. If an abnormal situation is created that our team and cheering group fail to participate in the international games to be held in Incheon in the same territory and within a hailing distance from the military demarcation line, it will leave an indelible disgrace to the entire fellow countrymen and rising generations forever. Nobody should have a dishonest attempt to abuse pure sports activities for political purpose. The South Korean authorities should not miss a golden chance to improve the inter-Korean relations and doubt our sincere will to participate in the Games for contribution to national reconciliation and unity, nor view it with their hostile conception. We'll approach the issue of dispatch of our team and cheering group to the 17th Asian Games with patience in view of making an active contribution to the promotion of reconciliation and unity of the fellow countrymen and friendship and peace with many countries of the Asia and the rest of the world, the press statement stressed. 59 civic and public organizations of South Korea, including the South headquarters of the Pan-National Alliance for Korea's Reunification and the Confederation of Trade Unions, held a press conference in Seoul on Monday, condemning the joint military exercise with Japan. After the press conference, they sent the Blue House a letter of protest to the President, Chief Executive, Prime Minister, and Defense Minister. That day, civic and public organizations of different tribes in Daejeon, Gwangju, Busan, Suwon of Gyeonggi Province Changwon of South Gyeongsang Province and different other places held joint press conferences in protest against military cooperation with Japan. The headquarters of the Movement for Reunified Korean Nation issued a commentary on the same day, denouncing the authorities for their joint military exercise with the involvement of a U.S. nuclear carrier and Japanese maritime force. According to the South Korean internet newspaper Mingo on the 21st, the Major Committee of the Families of Victims, Missing Persons and Survivors of the 30 Seoul sinking accident condemned the National Assemblyman from the Saenuri Party. It said it is a denial of the government's responsibility for the accident that he posted on internet an article opposing the institution of a special law on the very Seoul sinking. According to the South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People, the Trade Union of Builders of South Korea held a press conference at the conference hall of the Confederation of Trade Unions in Seoul and denounced the authorities for ignoring the deaths of workers by labor disasters. The June 25th to July 27th month of the anti-US China struggle was observed at the meeting held in Kyrgyzstan, a meeting and film show in Benin, and the film show in Nigeria on July the 16th. Screened at the film shows were DPRK documentaries including Pyongyang that rose on debris and Monument, the three charters for national reunification. Speakers at the event said the United States instigated the South Korean Puppet Army to trigger off the Korean War on June the 25th, 1950, only to be defeated in the 3-year Korean War for the first time in history, and signed an instrument of surrender on July the 27th, 1953. They noted that the miraculous victory of the Korean people was a brilliant fruit of the uncommon strategy and tactics, original military tactics, and superb commanding art of President Kim Il-sung, and stressed that his exploits will shine forever in the history of the world anti-imperialist struggle. And that's the end of the news read by Kim Jong-ok. This is Voice of Korea.
The Daily Rodong Shinmun carried a commentary on Wednesday under the title, Senseless Act to Ignite a Nuclear War. The commentary says, at the beginning of the year, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea presents a crucial proposal on improving the inter-Korean relations and ensuring peace and stability of the Korean Peninsula. But the United States conducted a key resolve and Fall Eagle joint military exercises with the involvement of huge aggressive armed forces and lethal equipment. This time, they have conducted powder-reaching exercises again with nuclear war equipment, bringing the situation of the Korean Peninsula to a dangerous phase. For the past decades, the successive rulers of the United States have tenaciously persisted in their hostile policy towards the DPRK. In April, Obama visited South Korea and called for more intensive sanctions and pressure, describing our inevitable self-defensive measures as so-called provocation and threat. Not resting content with it, he made bellicose remarks that they would not hesitate to use military force for defense of alliance. It disclosed once again the attempt of the U.S. bellicose forces to persist in provocations against the DPRK and mount a sudden preemptive attack on it and occupy the whole of the Korean Peninsula. It is a silly dream that the United States tries to make a preemptive nuclear attack on the DPRK obsessed with frenzy for nukes. Both nukes and intercontinental ballistic missiles are no longer the monopoly of the United States. It will be innocent all the more if they think that the U.S. mainland will be safe in case a second Korean War breaks out. The war maniacs persisting in futile nuclear blackmail and threat had better worry about the security of their mainland before coveting others' land, the commentary stressed. That was the commentary under the title, Senseless Acts to Ignite the Nuclear War, carried in the Daily Rodong Shinmun on Wednesday. This is Voice of Korea.
Series opinion covers Lean Thrust, Our Destiny and Future to Kim Jong-un.
A story about the flag of the Republic. The family of Im Jong-hee in Palgol-dong, Manjeongdae District, Pyongyang, often visits the Victorious Fatherland Liberation War Museum. The museum tells about the exploits performed by the great President Kim Il-sung to repulse the armed invasion of the U.S. imperialists and honorably safeguard the freedom and independence of the country, and about the heroic fighting spirit of the Korean people in the past 1950s. The family members pay respect to the victors of the great years, laying bouquets before the sculpture of victory, representing a warrior of the People's Army fluttering the flag of the Republic and shouting praise of victory. They donated the flag of the Republic to the museum before its inauguration in July 102 or 2013. According to Im Jong-hee, the flag torn by splinters was flattered by her husband in many battles during the war and carefully preserved after the war. She said her husband had devoted himself to the development of sports science and technology for decades and instilled the spirit of national defense in his children, and went on.
남편은 공화국기에도 기증함과 또 잊지 말아야 할 정신을 때때로 진행할 때마다
Sometimes, on important days in particular, my husband would tell the children about the preciousness of the flag of the Republic and the spirit which should not be forgotten. And he also said to the children how preciously he had kept the flag and how he had thought about the fatherland.
Her eldest son, Hwang Hyuk, has this to say.
많이 들었습니다. 조용한 전쟁 시기 아버님과 함께 싸운 용사들이 그 몫을
I have heard a lot about it. I heard his request that we should never forget the spirit of the warriors who fought with my father during the Fatherland Liberation War, that carrying on their fighting spirit, fly higher the flag of the Republic in sports games in the future. All the 5 children of the family bear in mind their father's request, the truth that the flag of the Republic represents their lives and their fatherland. 2 sons are working in the field of physical culture and sports. In the past, they made an active contribution to flying the flag of the Republic on the international arena through the development of science and technology of marathon and taekwondo. Third son Hwang Man-hyuk has this to say.
아버지로부터 물려받은 건 이제 그 제부다 명예도 아닙니다. 승리의 이제 그 정신입니다.
What we have taken over from our father is neither wealth nor fame, but the spirit of victory, the spirit of safeguarding and glorifying the fatherland. The spirit should be carried on not only by our generation, but also by the next generations forever, I think. As the flag has such a story, they donated it to the museum, a family treasure kept so preciously for tens of years. The grandchildren did not live long with their grandfather, but know his merits well. Granddaughter Hwang Young-kyung says,
할아버지가 우리의 행복을 뒤에 미래를 위해 싸우셨다는 걸
I know well that my grandfather fought for our happiness, for our future. In the future, I will carry on the spirit of the forerunners and study harder and sing more to demonstrate our fatherland all over the world.
In the future too, the family will devote themselves to the country along with the flag of the Republic as their fathers and grandfathers' generations. Alive are the soldiers who died for this land. The spirit of conquerors of youth imperialists nurtures the rising generation. To the victors of the great years, we pay respect. We pay respect. You've been listening to an account under the title, A Story About the Flag of the Republic. This is Voice of Korea.
Now, you enjoy your band music, song dedicated to Master Kim Il-sung. Please appreciate the song, My Song in the Trench, created in 1940 or 1971 during the Great Federal Revolution War. My song ring out of the trench to my hometown. It's long since I took arms to defend my country. In fierce battles under a rain of bullets, I said, remembering your request to perform this. enjoy your meal instrumental music, Song of Coastal Artillerymen. no female shallow. Years of war victory till today too. A new song written by Kim Man-young, composed by Cha Sung-soo, arranged by Oh Yun-suk, sung by Han Hye-ok, accompanied by the Santian band of the National Air Trio, and conducted by Song Sun-chul. We will so far present a new song.
Dear listeners, with this we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 3 and 6 hours UTC on 14,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz and 13,650 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South Americas between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,760 kHz, and 15,180 kHz. And between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 11,710 kHz and 15,180 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.